New Jersey, what's happening, guys? I'm back. All right, we're gonna try to do this quick video. Still feeling under the weather, so I'll try and make this quick. So yesterday, Monday, apparently there was an assembly that had met, and there was a vote. It was a 4-1 vote on that magical mushrooms and lessening the penalties of it. So if you guys remember, when the decriminalization bill was put forth, magical mushrooms found its way in there, and they were trying to lessen the penalties. They weren't trying to decriminalize it. That wasn't the plan. They were just trying to lessen the penalties. And I think maybe some people that were obviously, because cannabis and magical mushrooms, not saying they share the same properties, but they're both used medicinally in many states. So one may be used for the other one or something else. They're still medically used. And in New Jersey, it was 5 years of prison time and a large penalty, fines for being caught with just a little bit of it. So I think that did need to get chopped down a little bit. And that was thrown up into the decriminalization, but had gotten a lot of people pissed off, and a lot of people didn't want to pass the vote on decrim, which held that up massively for us, which we're still what is going on with that? But anyways, yeah, that would have been a major stall up, and that would need to be brought up, but it was taken out. And on Monday they had voted on that, which is awesome. So that brought that down to a first degree crime, and I believe it's up to $1,000 and up to 6 months, or maybe it is just 6 months of prison time, or jail sentence. So that's huge. 6 months versus 5 years. 5 years is tremendous, man, to take away from somebody's life. And again, for just a small piece of it. So, I still don't even think that I still think that's a lot of time. Fine, okay, that's fair. But the prison time, I'm sorry, that's 6 months. Even that, it's people use this for medical reasons. People, that is a win on that topic. So that moved forward. And then as it stands on the cannabis, we're still December 14th and the 17th is D-Day. So I've still been looking because I want to see if anything has been implemented or any changes. It seems to be very hush-hush, which hopefully we do not have a relapse of that last time where everybody was asked to speak out amendments that nobody had a friggin' clue on. I still feel there's still some changes and unsaid gray areas that still have to be talked about. And they still have not brought those up. So those really need to be talked about or implemented, or something's got to happen. You know what I mean? They did that Zoom meeting a while back talking about this wasn't for the money, but they could have enlightened a lot of people on some of the other gray areas. I know that they were drilled hard a lot of questions on the last time people were able to ask the panel, and they had a lot of no responses. So I was hoping we were going to hear some of those answers, and we did not. So there's still a lot of topics that need to be touched on. And quite frankly, I'm not sure how I feel about that whole current legislation and, what's going on with that. The 70-30 split, the 70 part is great. The 30 part, not so much. That's a whole touchy other subject. But I don't currently agree with that. I don't also agree on the cultivation cap. I thought about it. I was oh, great. We're going to have a hard cap for 2 years and then life's going to get better. But quite frankly, 2 freaking years to tell people is this is when your market can actually get booming. 37 licenses are going to go out, and they're saying that it's unlimited for micro businesses. They don't want to do a cap for that. But even with that being said, micro businesses can only go so far, and we still have no freaking clue of what the fees are, which could be nearly impossible for certain people to even get to. So we don't even know how that's happening. And 37 dispensaries, that's I'm sorry, not 37 dispensaries, 37 cultivation sites or licenses. And I don't know if that means that each site has to have its own license, or they can have sister or smaller satellites places. But if 37 places are allowed to grow cannabis and that's it for 2 years, dude, that's going to suck. The medical patients are getting shafted left and right with, the current demands that we have and the quality that we have, which, man, I just got something that I felt beat by my own dispensary. And right then and there, I just paid top dollar for something that I would have returned or chewed my dude's head off on the streets. So that sucks, man. And my guy who never done that to me, he would have came to me and hey, I'll give you a better price, or this is trash. You're not going to like this. And, I got something that I really enjoy, and I don't enjoy it this time around. It's actually very, whatever. So anyways, long story short, not too happy about that. So I feel like with that being said, if we're putting a hard cap on this, and X amount of people are only going to be able to grow this product, and we're going to have to meet the bans for the more medical patients, the actual medical patients, and then the people that are going to treat themselves, through recreational, but medically with it, which is going to obviously be a safer, alternative, or not safer, cheaper alternative. I don't know why the hell I said that. Because you're not going to be paying for, your X amount of, your visits to your doctor. You're not going to have to do any of that. You're not going to have to pay for your medical card, your fees that come along with that. Yes, the medical side might get some major discount or something, which we have not been told jack shit. So I'm waiting to see, what's the benefit for being the medical card holder that just, is going to, that they're leaving that just unsaid. But even with that, people are going to do that, and then we're going to have a huge recreational hit. So, with that being said, if you're only implementing X amount of cultivation and there's only X amount of product to be allowed in stores or bought at a time, well, if decrim is there, then what's not going to stop people from saying, hey, my buddy still gets his stuff from California, no problem, I got you, because your dude up the road's dry, and it's decriminalized anyway, so just you're okay. So you're going to drive a black market friggin' up the wall. Every time they do one of these, dumb decisions, I don't think, they say, all right, if we put a cap on this, how is this going to affect? Think it out, because, and I think we all need to do that. We think, you say something, and then you, really need to, revisit that a couple of times to make sure you don't sound crazy. But, the truth is, that cap is going to open up black market so much more. And, because they're going to have that supply coming in when we're still struggling, and our recreational demands are going to be huge. And then we're only going to have big pharma in it to begin with. So, there has to be a middle ground. We have to have mom and pop places. We have to have, they have to have accessibility to these licenses, and making sure these applications are not, billions of dollars that no one can afford. So that has to be dealt with too. And yeah, there's a lot of other stuff that's wrong with it currently at the moment. And I'm really hoping that we're gonna get some solid actual legislation. I saw there was a big change to a lot of people, and a lot of people that were giving advice or partaking in a lot of this. So hopefully, those people coming on board are also going to help steer our lawmakers in place. Because again, I've said it's really scary when people are making laws for something that they don't know anything about. For even in my situation myself, it's if they had gone into a liquor store and they went to the guy and said, hey, I'm looking for a really nice wine, and I'm going to have, I'm looking for this. I want it to be, I'm looking for that, these nuances to it. And the guy's like, yeah, sure. The guy at the liquor store's like, yeah, I got you, man. I got this $140 bottle of, I don't know, whatever the hell red shit it's called, and he's like, all right, great. Gets it home, cracks it open, and it's it drinks it. It tastes like shit, gets a headache from it because it's filled with sulfites. And, gets a nice nasty hangover the next day and didn't enjoy it. I'm not saying that's what I got, but it's you'd be pissed. So, that's what I'm dealing with currently. And you're making laws currently that affect, my medicine, and who's giving it to me, and how I'm getting it, and how easily I can get it and obtain it. And the end result is I'm not getting the best quality medicine I should be getting for the top dollar price. And you guys are getting kickbacks for that. So in the end, I want to make sure on my side that I'm getting taken care of just like everybody else. Everybody else wants, to make sure in this whole legislation, everybody's taken care of. Well, the medical side needs it. Social justice needs it. Mom and pop friggin' need it. Not just, the money. That's bullshit. Again, let's think about this. But anyways, with that being said, excuse me, guys. The 14th and the 17th. This is it for us. This is D-Day, man. It's gonna happen. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I know it kind of went all over the place on this, but definitely want to share that about the mushrooms. I thought that was pretty cool. And yeah, if you guys find anything out, let me know. Always helpful comments posted below. Much appreciated. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll catch you all later. Stay safe.